Good morning. Namaste. To some, it might be just cresting the afternoon or before 1 o'clock. Wherever you are, does not matter. I bid you high greetings and salutations. I put myself in this mode to set myself in calm neutrality so that the content I provide is clear, level, and without biased narrative. Everything that I provide is from personal experience with a little bit of equipping of knowledge that I apply and practice and then bring to you of how it has transformed my life and the different mechanisms involved. Previously, we talked about the physicality or the physical body. The reason why this is because when we use muscle memory or we use the physicality of our body, we start developing what's called repetition or learned capacity because it's muscle memory and it's done on a conditioned basis of repeat of cycles, similar to how we create our own behavioral characteristics, traits, personalities, identities, and sometimes adopted limited beliefs. Some of those limited beliefs we can create ourselves, and other times they are provided to us through other people. Sometimes our social circles, sometimes our familial circles. Other times we might view a program on TV or media that kind of feeds us a narrative. The reason why we go into the mind body after the physical body is so that we can focus our attention. So over the course of the next 7 days, it's going to be focused exclusively on the mind body. Today, day 8 of the 30-day Rise Challenge is the attention. Not so much the attention of what is vying for it outside of me, but rather the attention of with internal component. Now the mind body is composed of three in one. The unconscious mind, which is the mind that we barely tap into unless we're in deep meditative or trance-like states or at sleep. This is where everything about you and everything about the universe exists, simultaneously coexisting at the same time. In fact, in the unconscious mind, there is no time, distance, or space because everything coincides at exactly the same moment of time. In the subconscious mind, this is the mind that is responsible for absorbing all of the energetic data. Remember, we talked about energy is everything and everything is energy. Does not matter whether it's a tangible form or an intangible form, the subconscious mind absorbs it. And to the unconscious or subconscious viewer, we often adopt these beliefs or ideas, and sometimes we call them concepts, such as the concept of time. In the subconscious mind, you have access to everything about yourself, but it requires a little bit of a bridge network. And we do that by expanding our conscious mind, which is the mind that we utilize for in the moment, day to day applicability and practice. Okay, whether you're learning your job, whether you are drumming up new creative ways of expressing yourself or building something, you tap into the conscious mind. So over the course of these next 7 days, I would really like you to pay very close attention because we're going to go deeper than surface level. And when I say deeper, the concepts I introduce, the practice and applicability of the skills that I provide to you is not meant to render some surface level change, but rather the framework that operates behind the scenes. That's right, your mindset. Your mindset is composed of your own unique energy, energy that you have adopted, and energy that you have learned. And sometimes it's also ancestral, where it's passed down through oral communication. And it vibrates in your mind. All energy vibrates at specific frequencies. When we zero into those frequencies, we often give a label of based on how we are feeling. Now, I don't want to go too much into the heart body because that's going to be in another week. But as we become more aware of our unique individual self and all of the energy that we use throughout the whole day, we become more aware of all that we are. So this week, we began exploring mind body. And today's topic is attention. All right. When I say attention, what does that ring in your mind before you respond and react? What does attention mean to you? Write it down in your journal, okay? Don't judge it. Just write it down, okay? There's no right or wrong answer in this. It's awareness of what is within your mind soil, okay? The mind soil is very much like a garden where you plant seeds, you plant intentional and non-intentional embedment, where others can also plant seeds in your mind soil as well, if you allow. This is why we cannot do energetic work without your allowing, because otherwise it would violate your free will. And we do not violate free will at Phoenix Holistic and Wellness. The mind body is not about eliminating your thoughts or trying to empty the mind, okay? It is more about learning one of your greatest human abilities. If you did not have a physical body, you would not have a mind body, or an emotional body, or the energetic body that surrounds you, and you wouldn't have a vehicle to house your soul body. Okay? Soul body is not the same thing as spirituality body. Okay? Spirituality body is the practice that you have come when you incarnated with, gifts that you brought into this world that you may have seldom forgotten that you even brought them with you because you entered through a veil of forgetfulness. You ever heard the term where attention goes, energy flows? If I clear this a little bit more, if your attention is focused on something, your experience often reflects back into you how you hold that seed within your mindscape. So we might have to cultivate or sift through the mind soil, kind of loosening up the dirt and releasing what no longer serves us in a well-balanced mindset. Okay? Attention is a skill. Some innately already tap into it at early ages. Others may utilize it seldomly. Okay? But like any other skill, it becomes stronger with experience and cultivation in that experience. Just like a muscle, work it out in a repetitious style and it becomes stronger, right? So today's intention. I would like to help you set today's intention. And that is, today I choose where my attention goes. And as my attention goes to it, I choose how I allow my energy to flow to it. And that means what frequency of mindset I allow the branding of said experience. So today's practice isn't going to require a lot of money or resources. You may already have these items around your house. Maybe they were gifted to you. But choose one of the objects that I bring as a focal point, okay? You can use a candle, lit or unlit, does not matter. You can use a leaf out of nature. Nature will not argue with you if you take a leaf from it. You can use a stone or maybe a crystal, okay? Maybe a coffee cup, drinking cup, water bottle, whichever you like. Maybe a flower that like resonates with you really closely, okay? Or like we learned in the physicality of grounding and breath work, you could select a tree outdoors. Spend about 4 to 5 minutes simply just observing, not dictating, not providing a narrative, not stating how something should operate. Just observe it. And then write down in your journal what you are observing quietly with your mind focused on it. Okay? Again, no judgment, no criticality, no analyzing. Just let it flow in your journal. Okay? Next, uh, as you selected one of these objects in your practice today, observe keenly the shape of it, maybe the texture, the color, how light might be utilized, whether it's bouncing off the surface, whether it's casting a shadow. Some fine details you might never noticed before. And it's not telling you to go do work to actually actually create details, but rather observe as it is. And if your mind wanders, which it probably will, gently bring your attention back to the focus point. Again, no criticism, no frustration, simply just return, because this is the practice. This is helping you to expand your mental awareness, all right, through conscious intention. When you observe with conscious intention, you tend to see a bigger picture than when you might be more narrow focused and more closed minded. And that's not an offense towards anyone, but we often don't see a bigger picture, especially if we're in the middle of the experience itself and we might be in an argumentative state, trying to feel like we have to justify ourselves or clarify why we think the way we might think, why we behave the way we might behave. Instead of giving biased narrative, let's just observe, okay? When we observe, we become more aware of the habits and characteristics that we often aren't consciously aware of day to day, okay? As you focus more in on this, you become more consciously aware, and as you expand your conscious mind, you become more aware of all that is around you, all right? I'm not going to tell you what you might see because that's going to be through you, and I'm not in your body. I'm also not going to tell you what I can see tangibly and intangibly because I don't want to create a biased framework or mindset within you because you may not experience it the same way I do. That's the whole beauty of being unique. It's going to resonate uniquely with who you, at your core, really are. So observe without labeling the experiences as good or bad, or right or wrong, or positive or negative, or elevated or descent. Okay? Let's not use that spectrum just yet, because right now we're just becoming more familiar with utilizing our attention and observing without judgment. All right? Notice 5 things you can see physically. Just write them down. Notice 4 things you can hear in your environment without judgment or determining whether it should or should not exist. Just record what you hear, okay? Within your body, remember we learned the physicality and sensory input. 3 sensations in your body as you are connecting your attention to said object. Write down what you feel internally, not physically, feel internally. All right? Maybe 2 scents that is in your environment, wherever they might be flowing from. This is allowing your physical sense to coincide with your mental sense. Okay? And then finally, 1 slow, intentional breath. And then do nothing. Just observe. Notice. It may help you if you close your eyes, allowing your inner eye to discern in a capacity of picking up the information. Okay? Once you have completed that practice, let's do a reflection. Ask yourself, how often did my attention wander instead of remaining focused in the present moment with my mind's awareness, conscious awareness? Was it difficult to keep focus, or was it difficult to maintain my attention on the focal point? Did something come in and try to vie for your attention away from the focal point? Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's mental. Could be tasks, could be chores, could be anything that's coming in. If it comes in, just let it come in. Don't try to change it. Don't give it your attention as it should or should not be there. But let it float, just like wisps of clouds. Float on by, okay? What surprised you when you looked more closely with a conscious attention? All these things you want to write down in your journal, okay? It's going to help build the foundation to become more aware of what you hold in your mental field. Finally, how did focused conscious attention affect your sense of calm or clarity? Go ahead and write that down. Let the answer rise up out of you. Don't go asking someone else, because you're going to get their perspective from how they view and all of the energy that they hold. The best answer is going to come up out of you. Okay? If it doesn't rise right away, that's okay. Sometimes the best answers that come out of you aren't instantaneous, but may take a little bit more meditation on. Okay? So we build up the physical body with some daily practices, right? Some reflections. But today I want to try something unique for you in your highest good, and the catalyst to keep helping you rise into your highest unique individual self. Throughout the day, pause 3 times. And then ask yourself, where is my attention right now? Am I choosing to allow my attention to go to that thing, or is something vying for it in controlling in a certain aspect my attention to go to it? If it isn't where you want it to be, simply redirect your attention back to what you choose to have your attention focused on. No judgment, just awareness. Okay? By building this repetition, you learn to give your attention to what really matters and what aligns for you, rather than competing against you or in a sense of self defeat. Okay? Now, there's something I want to bring up. One of the other things that you carry within your framework is a built identity. You have your unique identity, and then you have identities that you have created yourself, and identities that have kind of been offered. And when I say offered, I mean someone's coming to you giving their statement of belief and utilizing your activeness, your choices, or how you are representing yourself. And they may not be giving you the fullness of your light, but rather maybe they're trying to help dim your light because it puts them in a position of reviewing themselves. So I'm going to offer a little bit insight. When you see a mental health professional to help stabilize your mind field, right? You may end up getting classified or giving a branded identity. And it could be manic depressant, it could be bipolar, it could be suggesting that you have a personality disorder, maybe narcissistic behavioral tendencies. Okay? Understand that these are not who you are. These are identities that they are offering you, and you choose whether or not you accept them. Because, no offense, but someone sitting in an authoritative position does carry subconscious weight. And so you might drop your guard and just absorb that information. And that information, your body now aligns to representing in a vibrational way, becoming an embodiment state of identity. You are unique, and these classifications often are seldom about you personally, but rather a comparison to what is acceptable in your cultural society or familial surroundings. So I ask you, do you want to heal yourself mentally? If you do, subscribe, like this video, and get that bell notification because we're going to drive even deeper through the rest of this week. Before I close, I want to give you an affirmation. Affirmation is something that we say to ourselves repetitiously, but I want to provide you it with conscious intention, meaning that you are consciously intending to speak this affirmation as if it already exists, as if it has already taken place. Okay? My attention is one of my greatest strengths. With patience, love, and practice, I cultivate choice of where it goes. Repeat that 3 times for your unconscious mind body, your subconscious mind body, and your conscious mind, body. And then if you have any questions, or you might be challenged in this area, reach out. I love answering questions, but I will not answer a question with a pre-recorded narrative. You get the raw, unfiltered, just like these videos, you get the raw, unfiltered, unedited version to help you rise into the highest, greatest version of your unique self. I love you guys. Be well. Drink water. Spend some time in nature. And try these practices. Okay? Until the next video, allow me to bless you. Whether you choose to accept it or not, that's completely your free will. But allow me to bless you. And in this manner, I'm going to say, I send energy and the highest love, healing, light, purity, and clarity to your mind body. May you receive it with your acceptance, and may it serve you in the highest manner at the root source of what you may experience as a mental imbalance or a classification that you may have been given, and help uproot and bring you back up into a higher state of frequency. I love you guys. Be well.